I interviewed him a few times. This excerpt was conducted by phone. Mick Jagger may be the true rock and roll embryo. He's in his 60s now, and the vitality, showmanship, sexuality, and talent remains. I saw him recently on the Grammy Awards and marveled at his performance. Upon reflection, I know millions of people from multiple generations have experienced the mystique of the Rolling Stones. I don't know how many realize Mick's generosity when it comes to causes he believes in and demonstrably supports. Like so many others, I love his music, but I also admire and honor the generosity of the man.
Hello, Elliot.
Hi, Mick. How are you?
Pretty good. Not bad.
Thank you very much for taking a few minutes to talk with us.
That's fine. I just wanted to thank you for the help that you did, with the concert.
Well, look, all of us in Los Angeles thank you for putting on the concert. I know you're very tired and very hoarse and had a very long night, so we'll only keep you a few moments. Could you just briefly tell us where you were when you had heard about what happened in Nicaragua?
I was just buying me Christmas tree lights in London. I was just doing a last bit of shopping, and I heard it on the radio, and I thought, whoops, I know where I'm going to be going in the next few days.
And you just immediately left London and flew right to Nicaragua?
Yeah, well, I didn't actually, because to get there, one of the only ways of getting there is via Miami.
I see.
From London, well, it's not the only way, but it's the way, And I don't hold a visas, and that was just transit, so I couldn't go immediately. I had to go to Jamaica, which is part of the British Commonwealth, so I don't need a visa.
I see.
So, and then I went from Jamaica to Nicaragua. I rented a plane to go over there.
And at that moment that you were notified, of course, you and Bianca had no way of knowing the fate of Bianca's parents.
No, and we knew that we'd never know unless we went,
And what were your immediate impressions upon landing in Managua? What was it like walking through the city?
Well, it was really a mess. I mean, it was just like a bomb, it hit the town, For me, I've never seen an earthquake. And living in London, and it's not in an earthquake area. So, it was just like a bomb site. Everything was just completely destroyed, and it's a pretty modern town. It's like looks a bit like LA, kind of thing.
Yes.
And it was just like, so it was pretty easy to relate. You could just see where everything it was just down. All the buildings were just holes in them, most of them fallen over completely. You can imagine if anyone was inside them. How the people lived, got out is amazing. Just amazing that so many people died, but so many people got out.
How long did it take you before you actually found Bianca's parents?
Well, it took us about 24 hours.
How was her mood during that 24-hour period? Was it on the verge of hysteria?
No, she was very calm, She was very calm. And I don't know, but she just was, so she wasn't any trouble, She just went around asking, and it's a sort of small place, really, so everyone knows everyone, so, you quickly find people that will help, You find a few people working on a radio, amateur radio, and we found people like one or two military people that, that knew her family and stuff like that, and we eventually found them,
Were you motivated then, Mick, to do the benefit for Managua, or did that come later?
Well, kind of it happened in the same sort of couple of days, because when I was there was people talking about benefits, and I thought, well, it's always great to talk about it, but it's different actually getting it done,
Yes.
There's a lot of sort of stuff that has to be organised, and it takes you a while usually. But when I got back to Jamaica, I got a call from Bill Graham, and he said he was thinking of doing one. Was I interested? And I said, yeah. Well, you get it together, and I'll do it, and that was it.
And last night in Los Angeles, you raised over $500,000 for the refugees.
I really don't know. I hope it's something like that. I haven't seen the, thing, the actual numbers, you know, but we're hoping it's going to be something like that.
How did you feel about the concert? What were your feelings? Were you pleased with the way it went?
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone, you know, it's a bit difficult to sort of substantiate someone who's paid $100 for a ticket. I mean, I wouldn't lay $100, you know, just, you know, I mean, there's not many bands worth it. And, like, we only had, we were due to come here on the 7th because of visa problems. We didn't get here until 2 days before the concert, and so we only had 2 days rehearsal. I know, I mean, you probably don't think the Rolling Stones have to rehearse, but we do, you know. We hadn't played on stage since July, you know, we played in the studio, but we hadn't played, obviously, our stage numbers. We've been playing new ones, you know. So we, you know, had a crash rehearsal, and we didn't want to do exactly the same show as what we did before. And, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
And, so we just sort of slung a few old ones that we had to rehearse, you know. And it was all right, you know. It was a bit raggedy, but it was a bit different from the show that we did before. And, you know, it came together at the end. And the audience was really good.
Did you enjoy? I was just going to ask you if you enjoyed the audience.
Yeah, I did. I mean, they really warm. I mean, I've always loved to play here, you know. And, like, I really can't thank everyone enough for coming, you know, because, you know, it's a lot of bread, you know, that's it. I mean, even, you know, for anyone, and, like, they're a great audience, and I really appreciate that they all turned up.
Just one or two brief questions, and I'll let you go, Mick. The amount of excitement that you create, I mean, you are probably the only entertainer in the world who can sell out the Forum as quickly as that, and I mean all of the Rolling Stones, of course. But the amount of excitement and craziness and screaming and attention, do you get used to that ever? I mean, is it second nature to you now to live this way, or does it still overwhelm you?
Well, it overwhelms you at the beginning, but I mean, you never get used to it, you know. But you know, you've got to sort of cope with it, you know. I mean, if it overwhelms you, then you can't do what you've got to do, see. So you've got to be kind of not blasé, but you've got to kind of just remember that you've got to do certain things, you know, that you've already agreed to do, you know, between you. You understand?
I do understand.
So you know, you never get over the sort of feeling of warmth when you go on. I mean, usually it's warm times that, you know, you always get the odd one that isn't. But you know, you never get used to it. You never do, and it's always a good feeling when you go on. I always enjoy it.
I interviewed you just once before when you were last in Los Angeles, and I asked you how much of the Mick Jagger on stage is similar to the Mick Jagger off stage, and you suggested in that interview that what you do on stage is really the show, and what you do off stage is really Mick Jagger. Is it still that way, or are there greater similarities developing?
No, but everyone lives two lives, you know, at least two lives, you know, and they're both the same person. Same as you know, when you go on the radio, you know, you probably don't act quite the same as when you do when you go out. You know what I mean? I know some people do, but it would drive everyone crazy, probably.
Anyway, I like your costumes much better than mine. Where are you off to next, Mick?
Hawaii.
And then, any idea when you'll be back in Los Angeles?
No, I don't know. I'd like to come back as soon as I can.
Is your voice just sore because of the singing last night?
Well, as I said, I didn't really sing, so I did 2 days very hard rehearsal, and then I did the show. And then I went out last night with Billy Preston and Keith, and we sang for about 4 hours around the piano.
You sang for 4 hours after the concert?
And Gary Stromberg also sang with us.
How does Gary Stromberg sing?
He sings pretty good, but he's got a very good memory for words.
Mick, you were always a delight to talk with and a tremendous inspiration in what you did last night. A lot of people whose names we'll never know will be eternally grateful, and I thank you for talking with us.
Thank you, Matt.
Good night.
You.
Good luck. God
Bye-bye.
bless. A conversation with Mick Jagger.